perfect.
Okay, so can we start?
Yes, Trusha.
Okay, sir.
Let's go ahead.
So, sir, it's 3, 2, 1. Over to you, sir. Now you can start the session, sir.
Good morning, friends, and welcome to Life Pharma Coalition, the continuous learning elixir for pharmaceutical industry, where we take the process of learning and development enhancement for the pharmaceutical professionals as well as the students of pharmaceutical management. In fact, the journey that we had started around 2.5 years back has metamorphosized into such a wonderful learning platform. And every week we are having speakers from the length and breadth of the pharma industry who basically come to the sessions and share their learnings that they have had so far in the pharma industry. And as a result, we all get enriched with the knowledge that they have about the pharma industry. Now, during COVID, we found that the doors to physical learning were slowly diminishing because we were not able to establish physical connect between people. So the floodgates opened as far as digital learning is concerned. So in digital learning, it is also very important that we have a type of learning which is not only compatible, but even very easily understood by each and every participant in the meeting. And there came the PowerPoint presentations. In fact, PowerPoint presentations have become the foundation of learning and development as far as digital learning is concerned. Because PowerPoint presentations, they allow real-time collaboration among the team that spreads across different parts of the globe, and it provides actionable insights, informed decisions that build transparency and trust among the people involved. In fact, a good, powerful presentation helps the presenter keep the meeting very organized and moving at a very good pace. And with virtual meetings, keeping an audience focused becomes even more challenging. So having a very good PowerPoint presentation design will help the presenter stay in command of the audience's attention. In fact, there are a lot of benefits of PowerPoint presentation. And if I can tell a few of them, the first and foremost is it is a highly collaborative solution. And the design gives us flexibility to, in fact, wow the audience. We can work from virtually anywhere because LPC basically works on more of PowerPoint presentation. So we can work from any part of the globe to enhance the learning and development. It is compatible with other Microsoft Office programs. It is accessible for all the users and purposes. And most important, PowerPoint presentations saves the time. So we will learn more about PowerPoint presentations today. But before that, let me take you on the journey of LPC so far. So welcome to Life Pharma Coalition. In fact, it's a global knowledge and networking forum for pharma professionals. And we deal with subjects right from manufacturing, sales and marketing, global packaging, supply chain, HR and L&D, and academics. So this is the executive team of Life Pharma Coalition who always come up with topics which are very relevant in the pharma industry. And every week we deep dive into one such topic. We have a wonderful set of mentors and advisors who are the top leaders in the pharma industry who always come up with solutions whenever there's a problem and are never too far away to offer their advice for the improvement of this platform. Thank you so much, Pharma Ratna Universe 2022, for giving us the award for the best healthcare webinar of the year. Thank you so much, Shahbaz sir, for honoring us with the Pharma Ratna Universe Award 2022. When COVID closed the doors, started LPC absolutely on virtual platform, but slowly when the pandemic reduced, we had our first physical meeting at Mumbai on the 17th of March 2022, and the venue was Courtyard by Marriott. And thank you so much to the entire pharmaceutical fraternity for giving their support by their presence at Courtyard by Marriott in Mumbai. Our second physical meet was at Ahmedabad, Hotel Novotel, And it was a total Zydus meet. And thank you so much to our guest of honor, Shri Ganesh Naik, for sharing his insights, his learnings in his wonderful career in the pharmaceutical industry. Thank you so much, sir, for your presence. And the third physical meet was at SIES School of Business Studies, Navi Mumbai. In fact, this was a time we started collaborating with the Pharmaceutical Management College students so that they can also get a feel of the pharma industry before they have actually entered. So this was on 6th of November 2022, and just last month or this month we had our LPC 150 conclave at Naipur, Hyderabad. That was really a wonderful session that we had at Naipur, and in fact it wouldn't have been possible with the total pharma industry giving their time and sharing their learning at Naipur, Hyderabad. So looking forward to our next session, next physical session on Live Pharma Coalition, and we are looking for the next venue where this is going to be done. Now today's session is about anchoring PowerPoint presentations, and who better than Mr. ICS Verma, who is the founder director, New Direction Consulting, to throw light on this wonderful topic. And looking forward to some wonderful insights from ICS Verma sir on this wonderful topic of anchoring PowerPoint presentation. So now I will hand it over to ICS Verma sir to take this session forward. Over to you, ICS sir.
Thank you, Arpan. And once again, welcome all the LPC learners to this platform. And whenever we, so when we were talking about, like, Darpan was also mentioning, because we have been now physical, most of us, we need to present some text or facts or some of the, papers, okay, sometimes digitally. So it's very important for every one of us to learn the tricks and tips of PowerPoint presentation. And I hope that, all of you will agree one thing, whether you work in any office, whether it's a, you may work or you may not work, even if you're working in a school, but one office is very much sure is Microsoft Office. So you cannot avoid that because that is, you use your PowerPoint, MS Excel and MS Word. So these three you might be extensively using once you come into the corporate world, and even during your student life. So it's very important for us to learn how to present, because presentation to matlab kuch bhi matlab bana ke you can present it, but will you wear the same kind of dress if you are going for a presentation? Think about it. You will definitely not, you will choose मुझे ये color shirt पहनना है और ये color में चूड़ीदार पहनना है. So you will always try to, because you are, you wanted to give a impression. So similarly, PowerPoint also makes your impression. So it shows you what kind of, the personality you are. And most of the times we might not know. That's why we don't give much importance to PowerPoint. We may be very good at facts and we have excellent stuff, but if you don't know how to present it, definitely somebody is going to take your credit. So this is the the reason that when we were talking, me and Arpan, Yashwant, so when we were talking, we should have some dedicated session, especially for all the students as well as for all the sales and marketing people. This is very, very, very important. Because if you're a product manager and you wanted to pitch in something and you don't know how to actually present it, तो आपका senior लेके जाएगा और present करेगा. So and you will always stay in the backdrop. So that is why we so that is the reason why we should actually be pro in PowerPoint presentation. It's not like ठीक है मैं कुछ भी डाल के मतलब present करूँगा. So those days are gone, and there is a lot has been available even in the YouTube as well as in the courses in Coursera, how to actually make the best presentation. So these are actually Arpan some of the learnings that I've been seen in the corporate and seen in the educational institutes, and the idea has come that we should actually teach, or we should actually bring this to everybody so that, this world will be a better place. So let me allow me to share my presentation deck. Can you see my screen?
Yes, perfectly visible. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, let's start with a small quote, which is, very fascinating. Successful presentation is the public performance of the private self. And I hope that all of you will agree with this. So to know, or if you wanted to make some of the best presentation for your next PowerPoint, so you're in the right place. So let us see, how we are going to make those presentations, and we will learn few tips, because to be a master in any idea, in any field, it will take at least 10 years. So you cannot become, by tomorrow, you cannot become a pro in PowerPoint presentation, but it takes step-by-step approach, to reach to that level. But definitely each and every point that we are going to discuss will definitely add value to whatever, your efforts that you are going to take. So basically, why do we actually start presentation? For example, you are a product manager, and or you are a student, per se, that you are going to present. But what are the different types of presentations? And when do you present it? Usually, when you have an idea where you are presenting it, or when you have some facts and figures that you wanted to, like, market data you are presenting. Okay. So you have infographics, where you need to create some infographics and you present it. And sometimes you wanted to pitch in, with a story, like the Arpan always do. So you are presenting a story. So basically, broadly, you can actually divide PowerPoint presentations into 3 types. One is persuasive, the explanatory, and narrative. So let us see what are those. So persuasive is basically when you wanted to your audience to take a call to action, CTA. So what do you mean by call to action? This is very, very mostly used word in digital marketing. That means, your customers saw your ad, and when they came to your website or something, and they started actually clicking on the purchase. So that is called call to action. So that means you wanted your audience to take action on your presentation. That means, you want some budget, okay, approval of a budget for this quarter, and you're going with a presentation, presenting it to your, seniors, and then you're expecting that this presentation will trigger an action from them. So that is called persuasive presentation. Similarly, you have some good idea, and you want to get an approval for that. So definitely you will always go for a persuasive presentation. And then explanatory. It's very, it's the explanatory word itself is a self-explanatory. That means, you have some market data, you wanted to present it to the management or present it to your team. So you will use explanatory presentation. So you actually explain about the facts, and you will actually show them the data. So here you have more of a data rather than the other things. So you usually use the facts and figures, because when you want your audience to get to understand, you actually have those facts and figures with you. So you will use explanatory presentation. And like the Arpan, who is, a storyteller, if you wanted to tell a story, and then create a brand story where you want your audience to understand through a story, then you will use narrative presentation. So these are 3 different presentation: explanatory, persuasive, and narrative presentation. Okay. So you might have observed that, in this presentation, the titles are tilted differently. Okay. So usually we see all the titles, you have a heading, and then something is written on the below that. which is very, very boring. So when it comes to visual communication, even with text, you can actually make your audience to look at what you have written and why you have written that. Okay, so that is called more of a calligraphy, but that will have, once you're using right fonts and right colors, that will have a great impact. Okay, so what are you going to learn in this presentation is, you learn about the role of creativity in presentations, why creativity is required. Okay, and then the application of that creativity. Okay, you know that creativity is there, but how to apply that, and when to apply and how to apply, where to apply, and then the presentation skills. So these three things probably you're going to learn or understand, and it's very difficult to put everything in one presentation. So we will talk some of the don'ts also in this today's session, so that you will know what not to do and how to do that. Okay. And some of the tools, like, which websites you get some best videos, which websites you get the best quality pictures. You might have seen that, some of the presentation will have a watermark, which actually distracts your audience. So you need to know which are the website which give you the free images and free videos and free PowerPoint templates. So that's we are going to discuss, and some of the resources, GIFs and videos. Fine. So how many of you might have heard about this, the PowerPoint monologuing syndrome? If anybody heard about it, you can just type it. I will just take a pause and understand actually how many of you might have come across this PowerPoint. Yeah. You can just type in Facebook, if you heard about this PowerPoint monologuing syndrome. Or if it is the first time, you can just type it first time. Because I don't want to just give a boring lecture. So let's understand. Around 6-7 people are there watching from Facebook, and few of them are there in the YouTube. So let us see if anybody is consciously watching this. Would like to understand that. Okay. Okay, Rahul Singh says it's first time, so he has not heard that. Very good. And Sagar Kulkarni says it's for him it's the first time. Okay, fine. So that means PowerPoint presentation, actually we have been experienced this many times. PowerPoint monologuing syndrome. Now you can understand, right? Our product manager is presenting and you are getting a very nice sleep, and and they don't know what to do next. Sab log so rahe abhi, why to, and Arpan always used to say one thing: if people are like audience are sleeping, then it's time to wake up the presenter. And that's very true, because people sleep because you're not giving some exciting stuff or exciting matter to them to actually look for your presentation. So, and just if you see, I have the data of 2014, which says that almost 30 million PowerPoint presentations are made worldwide in a day. Just imagine the kind of number of PowerPoint presentations are made in a day, and unfortunately 95% are forgettable. It's very really sad to know that, because these many people are put to sleep during the very productive hours because of the mistake of the presentation. or mistake the presenter. It's not because the audience have a problem. Audience will always, they come here to understand, to learn, but they're sleeping because you're not giving them the, the correct stuff to the process. And that is the reason almost 95% are forgettable. And this is a very, very big, out of 30 million, 95% are forgettable. That means it's a very, very huge problem. And that actually creates a lot of loss to the organization and to the students. Just imagine students at MBA, they come and they're trying to learn from your lecture, and you're putting them on sleep. So just imagine the kind of damage that happens to the entire professional and the personal life because of these presentations. I have seen that, when I was working in corporate, I used to see from morning to evening the presentations were going on, and nobody knows what is going on, what they wanted to tell. So it's time to actually unlearn those bad presentations and learn some of the tricks. Hope you're ready, guys. Okay. And first and foremost important, or we can call it as a 10 commandments of PowerPoint presentation. The first one is never use a default template. Okay. So the moment you actually log into PowerPoint, the PowerPoint suggests you the default templates. Now coming more creative, but never use those. But if you don't want to use those default template, then you should have some good templates. Okay. So where do you get? Go to Slide Carnival. So where you will find some good templates, slidecarnival.com, and where you can find good templates. And Canva is one of the best platform to get the templates. Okay. So maybe we will discuss in the next episode how to actually access those templates. But for today's session, just understand some of the websites you can download free. Okay. And another website for best templates is Slide. What is that? Let me just show you the website. This is, yeah. So I can't actually show the browser from here. Okay, that is called Slide Carnival, Slide Mania, and Canva. So these are the three which are most popular. Okay, and apart from that, we have Canva. Canva is the best one. Okay, now coming to the presentation. So I hope this is visible now. Yeah, let me just see. Yeah. So never use default templates. Even if you don't get any template, even if you can use some plain templates, or a template, with a white background or a gray background. Okay. And also, never use directly black on white, which is very boring. So you can use the shades of the gray with different variations to create some meaning. Okay. You can use even black if your audience, you have an audience which belongs to, usually if it is a corporate presentation, always use corporate template. And unfortunately, most of the corporate templates also don't look good. But you cannot, you don't have a choice there. You have to use the corporate template. But you can actually create a different, fonts and use that so that it looks, different from others. Blue, you can use a blue background also, which is very. So how do you actually create this kind of background? So you can go to freepik.com. and you will find out backgrounds. Just download it for free, and then you can use it. You can insert that into your PowerPoint presentation, and then you can see, for example, let me show you. Just go to insert, and you already have some, backgrounds. Just go to there, and then you can just, create a kind of like, I want to insert this, and okay, so this is one where, it gives you some suggestions, and never take these suggestions because you use your own this thing rather. Okay. And how to completely change the background? Go to format picture and go to this. Okay. And then go to colors, pictures, and okay. So you can actually you can insert the new background or new color. So you have all the options here where you can create the backgrounds. Now let's come to, and you can actually use the fonts which is bigger, because it's not the number of slides which are going to make the people bored, but the size of the font. If that is not visible, then the people will get to sleep. Okay, so better to use bigger fonts. You can just go to the when you're here in the home, it will show you the font size, and there you can actually increase it to whatever number, 100, 100, 250, whatever is there. So you can just keep the number there. Usually 98 is the maximum number you can see, but you can change it the size of the the font there. And when it comes to fonts, better to use these clean fonts like Railway and DDOT. DDOT is more of for titles you can use, but Railway is one, and Avenir. So these are some of the clean fonts you can use, which will look good. Okay. And the next very important point. So we learned about the backgrounds now, and never use default fonts. Now coming into the important points, or the number of bullet points in each presentation. Can somebody type then how many number of points usually you see in any presentation, any average presentation? Is it 10, 15? Sometimes. Okay, so can anybody just guess what is the maximum number of points that you can keep in one slide? I'm just waiting from Facebook. Arpan, you can help me from YouTube if anybody types there. I'm looking from Facebook. Okay, you can actually type, in a slide, because you already, every day and, every meeting, you always see the slides. So usually how many points that you see in a normal presentation, by whether it may be your teacher, it may be your product manager, or maybe it's your manager, or maybe you might, create your own. So usually what is the number? Okay, somebody says it is 15, 10. Okay, so 15 into 35 slides usually minimum. So that means 525 important points that you are trying to communicate, which is matlab pagalpan hai, because you will not have 525 important points, right? So never make everything as a bullet point. It's very simple logic, right? You cannot have in a one single presentation these many important points, because we all know that bullets are useful in guns, not in presentations. Okay. So it's not even sometimes about just the bullets, but it's the number of bullet points that you use, or even the text, the kind of the small text, or blah blah blah. You write everything. It's like a book. So if you wanted to give that much material, better to give a document rather than giving a presentation. Never make your presentation look like a document. Okay, make it like a presentation. Okay, so keep your bullet points only for the summary or for the important points only. And if required, use some creative bullets, which are which you can download from Google, or you can create your own. Okay. So let us see some example. Usually you have this, bullets, sub bullets, and sub bullets. Okay. Usually this is one simple presentation template which I have seen from the net. This can be made like this. You're communicating through different colors, without mentioning bullets. You can actually create the slide, and you can actually make the people understand if you wanted to actually communicate kind of a lot of information. Okay, so now let's talk about some of the backgrounds which are the colors that we usually use, and what is their importance, because you might have heard about this color psychology, right? So when it comes to red, it talks about passion. You wanted to communicate something dynamic, youth, excitement, or danger. You use color red. When it comes to orange, so when it's something like you are communicating energy, cheer, warm, and confidence. So this actually orange gives you these kind of feelings. Similarly, the this kind of yellow gives you abundance, hope, friendship, and clarity. So when you wanted to use gray for maturity, balance, and authority, and blue usually, that's why you see all the pharma companies use blue mostly, because it relates with pharma. And similarly, it's with business, strength, reliability, and trust. So these are some of the colors. When you wanted to even communicate with a color, you can use these colors based on your communication pattern and what exactly you wanted to communicate. You might have seen in hospital, why do they use green? Because that relates to calm and kind of that gives you the feeling of health. So that's why they use blue or green. And white, all of us know that we use it for peace, we use it for calmness, and those things. So you can actually do a kind of research on each color, but for the presentation sake of presentations, we usually use blue, gray. You can use yellow, and the orange, which are, and some of the green also you can use. Okay, but never use black font and dark blue background, because that is not visible. Your eye has to put a lot of efforts to understand what you have written. Similarly, on yellow, never use red, because that will create a lot of stress to the eye. So if you understand these basic things, your presentation will have a definitely a better presentability when you are using for the next time. Okay, so let us see. Okay, now let's go to the next point. I hope that you always remember one thing. You always need to keep in mind is your audience can't read and listen simultaneously. But what we do is we keep lot of text and lot of this thing on the slide, so they keep reading your slide. Rather than that, you just keep one point there and you speak. Okay, so most important tip for presenters is never stand, on the light of the presentation. Sometimes, you might have seen the presenter is coming in between the light. And also, like, he looking at the slide and start reading it, which is really the worst thing a presenter can do. That means you're not prepared. You're just you're seeing that slide and reading it, which is an offense to the audience. Okay. And the next important tip which you can learn is, the less is more. Okay. Keep it smart, keep it simple, so that your slide looks the clean, and you can actually talk. See, rather than keeping a lot of text, you can keep very, very little text and you speak. So that will give a better visibility to the PowerPoint, and people also will remember. See, what happens is, usually we use visuals. In this case, like, this is a visual that I have downloaded from, Pixabay, and I kept here. What we do is we will keep it as a small picture. Okay, so like this, if I'm using it, okay, and let me, okay, so go to fill. So if without these things, usually it looks like this. I am using a small picture. Okay, and then I'm using the white space. So this looks very unprofessional. Okay, how you can actually make it much better? Okay, so let us keep it to some corner or somewhere, and then make it bigger one, so that it will be visible. And go to format background. So where you can just go to color, and select the eyedropper, because this color will not be available in this background. So go to eyedropper and just click on this. So now it looks like, the entire picture. Always try to use the big picture or the entire slide with a picture, and never make it, a small one and then write your text, which looks very, very the kind of, distractive, what I can say. Okay, and we already spoke about the number of points in a slide. It should never be more than 7. 6 to 7 is the maximum limit for number of points in a single slide. Okay, and we all know that picture speaks 1,000 times, right? 1,000 words, and you can actually communicate. So on this, what you can actually see is the brother's love, or the sister's love, whatever you wanted to caption it. So once you're using a picture with a relevant caption, that will create at least 80 to 90% that will stay for at least for next 1 year. Still people will remember it. If you use only picture, it will create around 50 to 60% of the the impact. But if you use a picture with relevant text, that will stay for longer time. And we all know that picture conveys message in 3 seconds. Just imagine when you're using a picture which is conveying the message in 3 seconds, rather than if you're putting a text, it will take a lot of time. And also the picture conveys the message 60,000 times faster for your brain to process. That means the moment you see a picture or a moving picture, you can actually make the presentation much better. So here, this guy is running, right? So where do you get these kind of images? Any idea? Okay, so there is one question also, in between, which color we can use for feedback and weakness So usually weakness and feedback, maybe you can use gray, or but feedback is something is vibrant, which is very important for you. So you can use that combination of both orange and gray. Okay, so which can give you the both this thing. Okay, Sarang Kulkarni said that 5 to 7 points exactly, very right. And Sai Mauli said, so like, for feedback and weakness, what kind of colors that we can use. So in the Google also you can find out, what is the color psychology. You can find out all the things that you can actually use it. So I have given you a few things so that you understand, for the sake of normal presentations. Usually you use blue, gray, and orange. These are some of the best colors where you can use. And where do you get the best colors is from this website called colorhunt.com. Go to Color Hunt and take the if I have this in presentation, let me show you that. About the Color Hunt. Okay. Yeah. So because normally you get general colors, but if you want to really use some of the best ones, then you can actually go to Color Hunt. Okay, so go to Color Hunt. Once you go to that website, you will find out these kind of colors. Take a screenshot, and in the previous slide I showed you how to actually fill the the background with these colors. Go to eyedropper and then select the color. Even for the text also you can do like this. For example, in this, so this color, now I wanted to give some color to this. Okay, so go to this color, go to eyedropper, and I wanted to give this color to this. Okay, now it looks like this. Okay, so you can use those colors. Go to Color Hunt and then just take a screenshot, because that is a paid site, but you can use all these colors for your presentation. And these colors are not available in normal PowerPoint. So that actually, once you're using these kind of colors, automatically people will look at your presentation. You have done something different from others. Yeah. I think we spoke about less is more. We talked about the message. And the sixth commandment is one message in one slide. Very important thing, because for example, you are presenting an idea, maybe you have two to three ideas. But don't put all the three ideas in one slide. Keep each slide with one idea so that people will understand. Don't put 2-3 bullet points and this is one idea, this is one idea. Or you are communicating, for example, in my slides, I have used at least 10 slides for only colors. So never put all the 10 slides in one page and then communicate. That will actually difficult for the human brain to process. So one slide, one message. For example, in SAP, that is sales and distribution. This is one software most of you might know, or every organization runs on SAP. So you have an order, and once the order is received, packing is done, and once the packing is done, it is going for shipping, and then billing by the customer, billing to the customer. So this process can be, if you are presenting it to the users, you can actually show this picture and tell them, these are the 4 steps which usually happens. Usually order, and then delivery, and then packing, shipping, and billing. So you can use a picture and with relevant text that is going to be very, easy to remember, even for the one who even don't have a formal education. Like, you can create these kind of pictures like stop movement. Okay. Introduction to human evolution. If you're a teacher, you can just, take a picture and then use this kind of, text. Like I'm talking about pharma industry, you can create this kind of slide. When you are actually creating a slide on teamwork, you can actually create, with two different colors, and you can. So I can even change the color so that this will complement. Okay, so go to this, and yeah. So now this will look like, a professional background. Okay, you're talking about teamwork, how teamwork is important. Now you can actually talk half an hour only on teamwork by just showing this slide. How people are helping others to reach to the, and maybe probably, he is a leader who is encouraging his team to reach to his level. So you can talk, you can actually build a story from here, and you don't need much of bullet points also. So keep this kind of slide, and then you can talk. That will actually create more impact rather than showing 100 bullet points and you're talking all the day. Nobody will understand and nobody bothers about it. Okay, the same thing, you can use it. So where do you get these pictures? Some of the best sites for pictures are Pixabay, P-I-X-A, Pixabay, Pixabay.com, pixels.com, and FreePic. So these are the three websites where you get very nice, superb, pictures without any watermark, and which these are all royal free pictures. You can use it in your presentation with high quality. Okay. So for example, the Indian freedom struggle, you're talking about the contribution of women. So you can show these kind of pictures. So here I used all the flag colors, and the background is of, the color of the circle. So I want to communicate, the kind of, so this is what your slide should look like when you are communicating something which relates to that, the flag of a nation or something like this. Okay, and very the fifth and the most important point, you might wonder why I'm telling you about, every time it's an important point, because every point which we are discussing today will definitely reduce the burden of the, the audience, and improve the retention. So this is one which is the eliminating the cluster. Okay, so let us understand what is eliminating the cluster. Okay, so how many of you can actually understand this? Okay, and this will definitely look better in a book, not in a presentation, right? Mahabharata. Okay, so somebody and we have seen this kind of presentation. The Mahabharata, okay, is pronounced like, the Ramayana. So you're writing everything, beside the epic narrative of Kurukshetra war and the feature of Kauravas and Pandavas, the princes, and contain much of philosophical. So you can actually speak, but let me tell you, nobody understands, and even you also don't know what you're speaking. So rather, you can just keep this kind of slide, okay, and then speak about the entire Mahabharata, like, how Krishna has led or mentored Arjuna to, the face the Kauravas, and how they have actually the Dharma, how Dharma has, won even the biggest battle in 18 days. So we can completely talk on just showing some kind of, a beautiful picture rather than actually creating this kind of slide. So that is called eliminating the cluster. Or you can, this is a suggested slide from Microsoft itself, and you can also sometimes use this, very selectively. Okay, for example, in the northeast, colder than normal, and temperature expected to be very high. mid-Atlantic states have about equal. So this is what generally we see the presentations. Rather than that, rather than using those kind of thing, you can actually talk, you create this kind of slide and then talk about it. It's very coldest, and even, people and things freeze there. So you can use this kind of picture. And you might have observed, you should actually use the entire, the picture should be on the entire slide. Even here, similarly. Okay, so let's understand some of the text and picture. What is the, how different both are. Okay. So what is this? A curved line with every point equal distance from the center. A curved line with every point equal distance from the center. Maybe some of you might know this, but when I show the pictorial representation, everybody knows this, right? It's a circle, a curved line with every point equal distance from the center. It's called a circle. So rather than writing the entire thing, you just give a circle and then you talk. The global warming, you can just give this kind of picture and talk about global warming. Mother's love, you can just see how mother is protecting both her children. So you can speak about this, create this kind of.
I think there is a technical glitch on the part of ICSR, and these are common things which happen. So anyway, let me just try to summarize a little bit of what ICSR was telling about PowerPoint presentations. Now, PowerPoint presentations, they are basically of three types. The first is persuasive. That is when we want the audience to take a call or action. That is what persuasive presentations are. The second is explanatory, and this usually happens when we want to inform or present some facts and figures to the audience. The third is narrative, which generally I do, where I present a story and then bring out the essence of the story and connect it with the corporate industry. So that is known as narrative. Now, we have to learn actually three things while doing a PowerPoint presentation. The first is about the creativity. The second is the application of what we are trying to present. And of course, the presentation itself. Now, one of the common mistakes that we often do while making a PowerPoint presentation is the monologuing syndrome, which is where I say that during a presentation, if the audience goes to sleep, it's time to wake up the presenter. That means whatever we are trying to present through our PowerPoint is not reaching the audience, or probably is creating a boredom in the audience. And as a result, they go to sleep. So it is very important for the presenter to actually know the audience and design a presentation so that they are all agile and alert and are interested in the presentation. Now, one of the most important things is that we tend to write many lines on one slide. So the ideal thing is to be on a slide with not more than 6 to 7 lines. Otherwise, the audience may find it a little bit difficult to actually understand. Now, the principle that we follow, that give more and more pictures during a PowerPoint presentations, because there is a saying that a picture is worth 1,000 words. And in fact, a picture conveys a message in just 3 seconds, and it is 60,000 faster. The brain processes it. So always try to use some pictures as a connection to your intended message, because I am very sure that it will reach the audience much more faster than what I'm trying to write there. Okay, so try to use pictures when you are doing a presentation. And colors are very important. The background colors, they are very important. So in that case, try to get the colors from colorhunt.com. So that is one of the places from which you can get good colors on the background. And like ICSR said, that the blue color, the green color is generally used by hospital and healthcare. Pharma companies generally take blue color, and every color has got their own particulars, their own relevance, their own importance. So be very sure when you are using a color. Next is always keep one message in one slide. Okay, because if you are using multiple messages in a slide, what happens is that the audience get confused as to what the presenter is trying to actually convey. So try to keep ourselves, let us try to keep ourselves restricted to just one message in one slide. And most importantly, please eliminate the clutter. Because if you are writing an entire story on a slide, it would be impossible for the audience to understand or interpret what I am trying to say. So instead of that, let us put a picture of what we are trying to say, and the content we can deliver it directly to the audience without actually putting it on the slide. So this will ensure that our audience can see the picture, and the picture, as we know, it is worth 1,000 words, and it conveys a message in 3 seconds. So for that reason, we just put a picture on the slide, let the audience interpret the meaning of the picture, and then we can put, say the content ourselves, so that we can get an instant connection from the audience about what we are trying to present. So as a whole, it was a wonderful presentation from ICSR, for the very reason that he made this PowerPoint presentation very, very simple and understandable to our audience. Because see, today, like he was telling that if we are not being able to convey whatever we are trying to tell the audience through PowerPoint presentation, it would be very difficult for our audience to understand. So we need to be very, very precise. We need to be very crisp. We need to be very much on the point, and then we need to keep the slides minimum, because the attention span of any person has reduced drastically. So for that reason, we need to keep the audience attention span within the time frame, so that we can make a presentation which can convey the message, and as well as it can be very crisp and very precise. Well, ICS sir has joined us once again. I understand he had a technical glitch. So ICS sir, thank you so much for such a wonderful presentation. And in fact, we have a lot of questions that have actually crossed the minds of people, because see, pharma industry had been a very conservative industry as far as addressing technology is concerned, and it was not a design, rather a default, that is COVID, which actually forced the pharma industry to embrace technology and go in for digital learning. So some questions that I have received, well, I'll hand it over to you one by one. The first is, what is the motion path in a PowerPoint presentation?
What is the
motion path in a PowerPoint presentation?
Motion path. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Motion path is usually, the kind of, it's a, I think as far as I remember, it's used, it's a, it comes in your, this thing, animations. When you go to the animation, you will find all those, this thing. So if you wanted to, your words to go in a different direction, like kind of, in one pattern, where you can just create a motion, and then your text will go from the same path. So usually you use it when you are creating a kind of animation kind of thing. But in most of the presentations, we use simple, the animations like rise up or fade. So these are very, looks like very sober and very easy to use. And you can actually talk about one by one, point. So you can use appear or a kind of, you can use fade, and you can apply each point so that you can actually, talk on that point and come to next point and third point like that. So, but motion paths and all, we usually don't use, but maybe you want to, if a product manager wanted to create a kind of a movie kind of thing where the picture goes from here to there, and with a kind of the pattern of a love shape, so that you can use it. So this is.
Thank you, ICS sir. And then, of course, there is another question that can we insert an online video into a presentation?
Yeah, so it's very easy to insert a video. So let me just share my screen and show them how to actually insert a video kind of thing in a PowerPoint presentation. So for example, I have this slide. Okay, so let me just insert a new slide. Okay, so let's take one plain slide. Okay, now go to insert here. Again, click on insert, and you will find out on the right side there is a video. Okay, so you have three options: from this device, from stock videos, and online video. So if you are kind of, maybe you open, you wanted to include a YouTube video, for example. Okay, go to the YouTube. Okay, and then, so I will just show them so that it will be very easy for them to understand. For example, I am keeping live pharmacologation. So go to that the video where you wanted to actually show. Okay. So I hope my screen is visible.
Yes, yes, very much.
Yeah. So just copy this address, Control C, and then come to your presentation. Okay. So here you go to video, and then online video. Okay. So here you have to just paste the page that you wanted to insert, and then click on insert. So this is how an online video can be inserted. And once you actually make it full screen, so that looks better when you are presenting it. Okay, so for example, now I am keeping it. Okay, and go to playback. Okay, so here you have in click, the sequence is in click automatically. So just click on automatically. So the moment you go from one slide to next slide, for example, this slide we are there, and the moment you come here, it will automatically start. So I have not clicked on this. Okay, so this is how we can use the online video. But if you are trying to now use, say this is online video. Now let me show you how to insert a video which is there in your system. Okay, so you might have downloaded a video. Probably I should have it. Okay, then go to the same video in the right side. आपको ये दिख रहा है symbol के बाद जो video का जो icon है. Click on from this thing. Okay. Okay, so I'm selecting Rexon Healthcare, insert. So now this has come. Now I go to playback. Either I can click sequence or automatically. So now I keep it automatically. The moment I just make it full screen, it will start playing. So very simple. Only thing is, two things that you have to do is, you have to first download that video in your computer, and the option is from this device, insert from this device, and then you can just make it go to the playback. So video format का बाजू में playback है ना, वहाँ पे जाके make it automatic. And even you can make it loop until stopped. That means this will keep on playing. एक बार खत्म होने के बाद it will repeat on its own. You don't need to do anything. So you have these things on the PowerPoint itself. So it's very simple to use, especially for the trainers. This is very useful. Never keep a small video there. Make it full screen and then make it automatic. So the moment you reach to that slide, it will start playing that. So from here, this is an online video. So the moment I come here, it will start playing.
Are you going to
Okay.
do countdown?
And when it comes to next, this is from my device. I have inserted this, and it will start automatically from that, and it will repeat because I have kept the repeat option there. Yes, Arpan. I hope this is understood, right?
Yes, very well. And the practical demonstration was something very interesting because you actually took us through the journey of how to insert both online videos as well as videos from the device. So now you can stop your screen sharing, sir.
Yeah. Yes.
Well, another question that often comes to our mind is that how do we protect a presentation by setting up a password? Is it possible?
Yeah, it is possible. You can actually create a password for that, but make sure that you remember that password. Otherwise, even you cannot also, while saving. Yeah. So when you actually save let me just see where that will come. So you can actually save it as a movie also. You can save the presentation as a, so there are two, three different formats are there. But automatically you can play the presentation, and you can actually record your presentation while creating your presentation itself. You can record it. So that also you have the option.
Yes, so we can convert presentations into videos also, right, sir?
Yes. You can do that. Let me just show you. Yeah, I was dropped again. So let me just show you how to actually, you have to just go there, file, go to click on file. Let me share my screen once again. So you can actually save your presentation like this. Go to file. Okay. So there you have all these options. Save as PDF, print, share, and export. So here you can actually make it, click on the export, then you will find out, create a video, create an animated GIF, okay, create a handout, and you can also change the file type. So usually you can create a video, just click on that. In another 5 minutes, it will become a video, and then you can use it. Okay, but never close the PowerPoint presentation when the video is saving. From the format, it is changing. Usually, once I click on this video, full HD, create video. So now I am just creating, exporting this. Continue without media or cancel create video. Okay. So because it's directly, now it is saying, on the नीचे दिख रहे हैं आपको exporting. So वहाँ पे आपको status दिखेगा. So until it becomes completely, yeah. So now the status started. That means the video is saving. Similarly, there you can go to the, insert animation transaction somewhere. View, okay. File. Options. I forgot where we can actually create the password, but there is an option, and I had once created that.
Okay.
Maybe I can just type it in the Facebook comments.
A password to protect our presentation. We can definitely create a password.
Yes,
right?
yes, we can create a password. Yes.
That was the question, that can we create a password to protect? So we can definitely.
Yes, we can.
Right.
We can create.
And one more thing is that we create those transitions. So how do transitions help to make the presentation more attractive?
Yes. So let me just show you from here. Okay. So I'm here and go to transitions.
Yes.
So here you have
Animation,
different transitions are available, morph, fade. So this is one of the best transition which you can use. Just click on morph and then go and apply on all the slides. Let me just, yeah. So you have apply all option here. So once you apply all, okay. So when you're moving from one slide to another slide, so if you're using same picture, it will look like this. Okay. So if it is a transition, or sometimes just I wanted to only kind of just flip push. Okay. So I wanted to use push and then apply all, but never use different transitions on the same presentation. You select one and then apply that. Okay, so now the different kind of transition has come. So based on my requirement, I can even change the effect option. So I want from left to right for all. So I can use it. So this will create a kind of magic in the presentation. Yes, Arpan.
Yes, thank you, sir. That was really a very insightful presentation on PowerPoint presentation. And what was very notable was that you made it look so easy by taking us on a step-by-step guidance as to how to create presentation, how to get the background color, how many lines should be there in a page, and what is the importance of pictures that we depict on a presentation, because pictures speak 1,000 words. And in fact, within 3 seconds, people understand the message that we try to denote through a picture. So all these things you have taken us, and I think today our audience actually had a practical demo to how a PowerPoint presentation can be created and how does it basically affect the audience if it is presented in a correct way. Because as I see that if the audience is sleeping, it's time to wake up the speaker. That means the speaker has made such a presentation that it does not keep the audience awake, rather it puts them to sleep. So all these finer points, you have actually taken a deep dive today, and you have given us a very insightful topic, so that from next day onwards, that is from today onwards, we can actually practically use it in creating our presentations, which we have to do quite often. So thank you so much, ICS sir, for such a wonderful presentations. And now I'll come back to you for what has been your experience today. You have been what old war horse as far as anchoring these programs are concerned. So how did you find today's session on Life Pharma Coalition?
Yeah, actually, so let me tell you about why I have chosen this topic first, because when I was part of audience, we used to actually sit from morning to evening, and some of the most boring presentations, and some was really exciting. Then I felt that I actually calculated only in head office we were around 10 people, which are paid somewhere around from 20 to 30 lakhs at that time, maybe around, I'm talking about 10 years back. So these people with each hour for that person, actually the company is paying somewhere around 2 to 3,000 rupees. So from morning to evening, at least 5 to 7,000 for each person. It's a man cost, and even the presenter who is also there on the 20 lakhs package. So when I calculated the estimated amount, the waste because of a bad presentation is coming to sometimes in lakhs, because you are presenting to all India. Just you called the all India team, and you are presenting some of the most boring presentation. Nobody understood. So just imagine the kind of waste that you're creating to the organization. Then I felt that somewhere it has to be actually addressed, and things should not continue the way the now it's going on. Then I have actually sit with some of our marketing team, and we have actually had a brainstorm, and then we came up with some of the best templates, and then we started working on these things. That is how it has come. And when I saw into even in software, when I entered into software, there also the situation is same. That's why it has been said that out of 30 million, almost 95% are forgettable. Just imagine the kind of the corporate is actually facing a lot of waste actually going into it. The productivity is going into it, and after that you might have observed that some of the once you attend a 4 hours 5 hours of a boring presentation, you are actually drained. You cannot do anything on that day. You will feel that मुझे इतना headache आ रहा है, मुझे अभी सिर्फ rest लेना है. That means your entire day has gone. So then I have actually done a kind of started doing research, and there are some of the best tutorials I have attended, and I have done some courses in Coursera. By one of the best course was how to do best presentations from University of Colorado. So these, once I gone through those courses, I realized that this actually should be taken to every student and every professional, indeed, so that we are going to create a better world, for the people who are presenting it and the people who are watching it and who are receiving it. So that is how it has come. And today I really enjoyed. People are very engaging. People started, even still they are putting a lot of messages, whichever they learned or whichever they come across something new. So and today only we could able to discuss only 4 or 5 points. Maybe if time permits, maybe next time we will come up with the other points, which are the important points for this PowerPoint presentation, Arpan.
Yes. In fact, there has been such a lot of information overload nowadays due to all these presentations that there happens a very early burnout as far as employees are concerned. So
Yes.
I follow a very simple way that you said about narratives in PowerPoint presentation, where we start with a story, because a story has got such a wonderful glue is that it sticks to
That's a narrative presentation.
Yes, exactly, and connected with the presentation, because anytime we start a presentation by telling that I need your complete attention because I am going to discuss something serious, that is the time you actually put them to sleep, because they in their mind another boring presentation shuru ho raha hai, right?
Correct.
But then if you start by saying, hey, how many of you want to hear a story? Yes, even those who wanted to go to sleep, they also get up and say, yes.
Absolutely. Storytelling is one of the very, very important part of a presentation. So the moment you tell that, I am going to tell you an interesting story, an amazing story. So we go to our childhood. हमारा मतलब दादा दादी जो मतलब story सुनाता था. So you are going into that learning mode. So the first thing is you're creating a platform for them to you're creating an environment actually to actually receive what you're telling. The first thing. That's why I tell that even storytelling is one of the very, very important part of a presentation. Whether it's your brand, whether it's your organization, whether it's your performance of that year, you come up with a story and then you present it. People are going to remember it for a longer time.
Yes, in fact, my first my first session on LPC had been on storytelling, because it was you who had connected with me. That was LPC 28, and we discussed on a topic, and we actually zeroed in on storytelling and the relevance in the corporate world. So what extra we can bring, what's the new thing that we can bring through storytelling, and that is how I started my journey in Life Pharma Coalition through LPC 28 through storytelling. And today
Absolutely. Yesterday I was in one of the conference in Hyderabad. So
Right.
that was a neurogastrology conference is happening. So and the head of the association, who is the founder of the association, he was one of he is from Lucknow. I forgot his name, and he started his presentation with a story. He told that how he failed and then how he got the confidence of the Indian gastrologists. So he created a very beautiful storyline, and all the people and all the doctors, physicians, gastros, they were listening very, very, with a pin of silence. So stories can mesmerize anybody, whether irrespective of whether it's a doctor, whether he's an engineer or a student. So come up with some of the beautiful stories and then you connect with your presentation.
Yes,
very, very
absolutely.
important.
And each and every person has got stories. It only requires a few words that is going to bring out the story from them and present it to the audience, because everybody wants to hear stories. Always remember, everybody loves stories which are very real, which are very much connected with the world. And mostly the stories which people enjoy are stories from rags to riches, where people started in a very poor manner, but then how they escalated themselves, catapulted themselves to greater heights. And those are stories which I call the rags to riches stories. And everybody would like to hear them, and try to be as original as possible while storytelling, and never hide your vulnerabilities. Never, ever. Your weaknesses, your vulnerabilities, because that is what makes you
real. We are all human. We tend to do mistakes.
Yes.
So nothing to worry about it.
Yes, absolutely. So let us be as original and as honest as possible to our audience. And thank you so much, ICS sir. Today's was also a very honest presentation that you have given us on this session. So it's time for me to thank Imagica Health for giving us the support session after session on Life Pharma Coalition in our endeavor towards spreading learning and development in the pharma industry, as well as the B Pharma and pharmaceutical management colleges. We look forward to your support in our future sessions as well. So thank you so much. An appeal to everybody that we are still not over with COVID. So please let us maintain the COVID appropriate behaviors of SMS, that is sanitization, mask and social distancing, along with the compulsory vaccination. Let us keep our environment clean and green. Let us plant more trees. And during the summer, please let us keep some water outside for the birds and animals, because it is really, really hot outside. So before we leave, there is a story which I narrate, and today's story goes like this. Well, once there was a crow who actually grabbed on a big piece of fish from the market and started flying. And as it started flying, it was feeling that there were some vultures which were following the crow. The crow wanted to escape from the vultures and wanted to fly higher and faster. But because of the large piece of fish that it was carrying in its beak, the crow could not fly faster, nor could it go higher. So an eagle was observing all this and then approached the crow and said, "Hey man, what's your problem? Why are you sweating so much?" The crow said, "Well, I am having a fish in my mouth and I want to eat it in a nice place. But unfortunately, these vultures are trying to catch me. Probably they are out to kill me. So what do I do?" The eagle said, "Well, I can understand your story. It's something like it's not connected with you. It is connected with the piece of fish that you are carrying on your beak. So these vultures are not after you. Rather, they are after the fish that you are carrying in the beak. So just drop the fish and then you see how high you can climb and how fast you can actually fly." So immediately the crow dropped the fish and the vultures went after the fish the crow had dropped. And the crow could feel much more lighter and it could fly much more higher. Friends, we all live with a heavy piece of fish or weight in our head, which is known as ego, which often becomes a barrier to our growth and development. Only those who can afford to let go of this ego can take the leap of faith and reach to very good heights. So let us try to put this ego aside once in our life and see what we can do and where we can reach. In fact, this ego often becomes a barrier towards learning, unlearning, and relearning. It often becomes a barrier towards upskilling and reskilling ourselves. It often becomes a barrier towards enhancing our learning and development. So friends, we can learn from everybody, and always remember that as long as we learn, we keep the child within ourselves alive. The moment we stop learning, the child dies. So let us keep the child in all of ourselves alive by keeping ourselves open to learning and development and keeping our egos aside. So thank you so much for joining in LPC 157. And this is Arpan Kumar Paul signing off for this Sunday along with ICS Verma sir, with a promise of reconnecting with all of you next Sunday at the same time with a new set of speaker, with a new set of thoughts, and of course, a new set of learning. So thank you. Enjoy the Sunday, and it is goodbye and namaste from all of us. Take care.
Thank you. Thank you.